What's up, everybody? It's Chris and Taylor, and I'm Taylor, and this is Chris.
Hi.
So we're back again with TenantCloud here, talking about the good stuff. We're still in tax season, so we're still going to be talking about taxes, but we're going to be talking about the best part of taxes. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
That is the IRS and the auditing that they do, Chris. And I have to say congratulations to the IRS. They are in their 110th year right now. Congratulations, guys. Take my money. Happy birthday.
That's epic.
Yeah. So today we get to talk about the IRS and their auditing and how you can actually avoid having to pull out all of those receipts and all of the paperwork that they sometimes ask. So we'll talk to you a little bit about that, and it's gonna be a good time. So, Chris, why don't you go ahead and start us off with telling us a little bit about what you know?
Yeah. So the IRS, it's been about 110 years since the 16th Amendment was first ratified by a majority of the states. And that was the birth of the income tax. And that pretty much set the IRS up, which we have today. And they've been auditing people and small businesses ever since. They were pretty excited to get started, I think.
Job security.
Job security, yep. In fact, the IRS was one of the things that brought Al Capone down. He couldn't even escape their firm grasp.
Hey, well, you know.
He paid a good price.
In the end, he did, unfortunately.
And so one of the things that's been established since then, in the 1990s, is something called the Cohan Rule. I don't know how you pronounce it, if it's the Cohan or Cohan Rule, but we'll just call it, I guess, the Cohan Rule.
Could be Conan the Barbarian.
But it's especially applicable to small rental businesses when receipts are kind of hard to track. Mm-hmm. And this was established when George M. Cohan in the 1990s wasn't allowed to deduct some of his expenses because he never kept receipts or checks, which was a mistake. Because as you know, you should be keeping receipts or checks. And Cohan appealed to the court.
Yeah, especially before the age of technology.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So he appealed to the court and asked it to oblige the IRS to deduct some of his business expenses due to his proven accounting and tracking. And that's key. That's important because he won that, and it worked out to where now the Cohan Rule has been considered a legitimate way to deal with the IRS and its financial auditing.
Come on, guys. I'm a nice guy.
I've always done it the right way.
Yeah.
I just messed up this one time.
Yeah.
But it's only applicable if there's a consistent process of accounting that can be proven to have been followed. So recently, a business consultant had to pay nearly $23,000 in back taxes because of a lack of documentation for expenses that were related to things like entertainment, meals, and travel.
Wow.
So it's, even though the Cohan Rule is in effect and it does give some flexibility, it's dependent upon you being able to prove that you have a consistent process of accounting to track that stuff to begin with. Yep. Even if you have a few bumps in the road where you forgot something or didn't properly account for something, you still need to have something that you can prove to the IRS that normally you track stuff the way it's supposed to be and that this was just like a one-time thing or whatever.
Yep. Mistakes happen, so the biggest thing is just keep track of everything. Even if you don't have the receipts, just keep track of everything and store it where you know it will be found again in case of these things happen. So it's just important. Just keep those things around.
Yeah, I mean, there was another small business case that same year where the case was emphasized because the business owner used handwritten notes to keep track of stuff.
Old school.
Yeah, old school. And the small business was able to claim as much as $7,000 in mileage expenses just because there was a consistent process for accounting in place through those handwritten note cards. And even though some of them were missing, he was still able to deduct that amount just because he was able to show that, yes, I have a process in place that I follow.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy that, and somewhat unfair, that the IRS would take one business's word into account and not the other just because of a consistent process of accounting, but that's pretty much what happened with the Cohan Rule.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have your documentation there and everything kind of set in place, you can prove that, hey, I keep track of everything, and even though I may not have legit records of something from Home Depot or my purchase from the gas station for my gas for travel, as long as I keep record of it, I should be okay. And one nice thing with that is that there's a bunch of good software out there now, and there's a really good free software out there that you can easily keep track of everything just on your phone, iPad, computer, when you're on the go. TenantCloud allows you to actually pull up everything right there, put down your expenses, and then you're done. I mean, it's easy to keep track of those things with TenantCloud on your phone, on an iPad, tablet, computer, wherever you are. It's just easy. So,
well, and the great thing is it establishes that consistent tracking process because you create the invoices in TenantCloud, and 9 times out of 10, most users, the person who is being billed that invoice pays it through TenantCloud online, and so the system automatically tracks all that stuff. So there's no need for you to keep an outside or external receipt or tracking of those transactions. Everything is automated. And even if you do bill the invoices and the person doesn't pay on TenantCloud, you can still manually record it as paid and date it. So you're still maintaining that consistent accounting process for your business, which is extremely important, especially for smaller landlords with a few rentals who don't have full accounting teams. I mean, that's a huge savings, and not just in terms of dollars of not having to pay somebody to do it, but also the amount of time that it takes to track that stuff and put it into a report that's a legible report in the event that you are audited. TenantCloud literally puts it into reports for you, and all you have to do is just filter by the dates and click to submit and get that report, and then you can export it, you can save it, download it, whatever, email it to an accountant. It's amazing. Even if you use like another service provider or payment processor outside of TenantCloud, they're not generating those reports for you. They're not generating what was an expense and what was an income and putting it into a report. And that's what's amazing about free software like TenantCloud, is that not only does it automatically track all that stuff for you, but it also puts it into all of these reports that you can then use at the end of the year, and especially the tax report, the year-end tax prep report. That's
year-end tax prep report.
That is a killer report.
Yep, exactly. And having that Schedule E there.
Yeah, it takes care of the Schedule E for you and everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's important to keep track of everything. I mean, when it comes time to auditing, if it ever comes time for an audit, that is key. So having it all in one spot, taken care of for you
and on your cell phone.
And on your cell phone.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're walking down the street and an auditor comes up and says, "Hey, Mike, let me see those reports," you just open up your app.
Is that how it works?
Sometimes. I don't know. I've seen it in movies. Yeah, they always find you.
Yeah.
They can't. The IRS will find you.
They will find you.
They will find you.
I mean, it's also especially awesome because in 2013, there were over 13 million single-family rentals in the U.S., and now there are over 15 million single-family rentals. So that is a lot of people, a lot of transactions, a lot of properties, a lot of Schedule E's, and a lot of them are managed by DIY landlords. So it is extremely important that a process for your accounting is in place in the event that you ever are audited. And it's just good to have it to begin with because it helps you better understand your money, your cash flow, your everything about your business. It's very important to have all that information in reports that you can pull and analyze and project for future revenue, and to plan for further growth and expansion. Helps you just understand your business on a deeper level. And TenantCloud's reports really enable DIY landlords and really anybody who manages rental properties to be able to better do that, and free of charge. There are plans that you can...
Did you say it was free?
It is free. There are plans you can pay for to get additional features, but the reporting side of it is free. It is
to everybody.
Yeah, to everybody.
That's a great
100%.
thing.
So,
wow.
Anywho, that's it for us. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and check out our blog. We do have a blog on this at TenantCloud.com, so feel free to comment, share the article, share this blog post with your friends and all your peeps and anybody else who you think could benefit from this. We are now on March 21st, so there's only a few weeks left between now and April 15th. So you do need to be getting your taxes in order, and you can actually import all of your records for properties and for tenants into TenantCloud, and then you can recreate your financial transactions for last year if your current software or payment processor that you used last year did not do that. So you can actually go back and basically recreate this entire schedule for last year and then print out a report, a year-end tax report, and print it out or just email it to your tax accountant or use it for your tax filing this year. And we'll save you a lot of time and trouble. So,
From the tax man.
So thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Keep your record.
Yeah, definitely follow us wherever you are listening to this podcast, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.